your partner is not the enemy. Yes, they could have made mistakes. Yes, they have disappointed you.
But what about those that admit, but they still go back to the same, attacking one another?
Yeah, the blame game comes in.
Yes.
Hi, my queen, you were type yandy, scared to commit to forever. What happens when the honeymoon phase done? I guess diamonds are made from pressure. And my
Hi, we're back again, the Chipongomas, Agnes.
And I'm Raphael.
Yeah, we continue with the topic, trust, and today we're talking about broken trust. And chabuleni kumbukirako is when growing up I had a lot of misconceptions about trust in marriage, and I think that's one of the reasons why I was never motivated to get married, because the misconception I had about trust in marriage is that no one is reliable. It's impossible to trust. That's the misconception I had today. What's been your misconception? What was your misconception about marriage? About trust, actually, not marriage, about trust. Yes.
Growing up, I think one of the things that was really, really strong, which I hear a lot even today, is that once trust is broken, it's gone. It can never, ever come back. I think that's one of the major things that stood out growing up and was really loud for me. It was almost difficult to trust anyone.
Yeah.
It was almost, I was always playing it safe anyway. Yeah.
Okay. And we end up failing to trust, and we grow up with these wrong things, wrong misconceptions. And is that a right misconception? These misconceptions about trust in marriage, and it makes a lot of us be very worried and really never desiring to get married, especially that these are things we've grown up. But it's very possible that once trust is broken, it can be rebuilt. It can be rebuilt. And so I have another question for you, babe.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Is it possible for a marriage to bounce back after broken trust?
Yeah, very, very possible. I think it's important that we're talking about trust being broken, because the truth, guys, is that trust can be broken. We are human beings, and one of the realities of us being human beings is that we make mistakes.
Sure.
We make mistakes. Sometimes intentionally so. Unfortunately, sometimes we make intentional mistakes. Sometimes they are mistakes you didn't plan for it. The heart of man is quite tricky. Sometimes what it wants at the cost of another person. So it is possible for trust to be broken, even in a marriage. I don't claim to be perfect. I have my share of mistakes in our journey. I have made mistakes before. But we're still here. We're still together. It's because we both made the decision that regardless the mistakes we both made, we can still build on it. We can still grow past it. It's not been easy. I don't promise that it's going to be easy, but it is possible for trust to be rebuilt. Even when it is broken, it is possible.
And actually, I'm reminded of Chimtengo. It's not really Chimtengo, but it's Ndiyo Katapa. Not really Katapa. Yeah, but Katapa could be one of them. Kalembla. You know what happens is, as Kalembla is growing, there's a part where Mutiola Koksogolo. It helps for it to sprout more and kuti vipake. I'm here reminded of this because I think marriage, sometimes the mistakes that we get to make help us to grow more and to really have this deeper connection. Imagine if I told me, but I never made the mistakes. I never made a mistake. I never hurt you. How simple maybe things would have been, or maybe how not growing you would have been. Maybe we would have been past some point. I'm not saying that we should break trust intentionally, no. But mistakes are there. We are bound to make mistakes, and it's very possible for a marriage to bounce back. To bounce back after trust is broken. How can we rebuild trust after it's broken?
Well, it's hard, I must say. It's hard. We must not make it sound like it's going to be an easy road. It's hard, but it's possible. I think one of the first things that we must do is firstly, we must admit when we are hurting. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel broken. It doesn't help anyone if we want to conceal it, if we want to hide as though nothing ever happened. We must admit. We must admit where there is pain. sometimes one of the challenges that are there in marriages is that we are not ready to have difficult conversations. We are not ready to face the facts sometimes.
True.
If I hurt you, I think it's important for you to be open enough to accept that you have been hurt. And I must also be willing to listen to your hurt.
True.
I must not shut you up. You see, admitting, I think, is one of the very first things that we must get to in marriage. When there is a problem between us, I have made a mistake. I must not think I am the best of people. I don't make mistakes. I'm not an angel. I must be willing to see my wrongs and admit where I am wrong. Same as my partner sometimes should also help me see where she feels hurt.
Yeah, true.
I think that's one of the first things. The other thing that we might also consider, the both of us must not look at each other as the problem. When there is a problem between us, we can either fight each other or fight the problem that is there. Those are two different things. And most of the times in marriages, I think we've learned this through experience. We spend too much time attacking each other, fighting each other, seeing each other as a problem. When there is a problem in front of us, regardless who has brought it, regardless where it's come from, it's something foreign between us. We should invest more time addressing that problem, that issue, rather than attacking each other, attacking each other's character. No, you are the problem. Hey, you are the problem. No, you did this, you did that. You waste a lot of energy fighting each other. At the end of the day, you build an image of your partner as your enemy, and your partner is not the enemy. Yes, they could have made mistakes. Yes, they have disappointed you, but both of you must be in this and work through this together. The moment you leave it for your partner to deal with that, and the moment your partner leave it to you to deal with that, you are already building a wall between the two of you. And it will be very hard to get over that wall. It will be very hard for you to see eye to eye. But we in this together. Yes, I have made the mistake. I who has made the mistake must be willing to admit that I must see, and I must not see my mistake through my own eyes. I must see my mistake through your eyes as my partner. Because sometimes if I'm just stuck on my side, I will never see why that thing hurts for you. But when you are hurt, I must not just look at my own side. It's about me seeing it from your side of the story, your hurt. I must not define hurt from my own side, because maybe it's a simple issue for me, but it's a really big issue for my partner. You see, and until I see it through your eyes, I may never appreciate how big of an issue it is. And I think that's one of the major challenges in marriages. It's hard to see it that way. It's very hard to see it from your partner's point of view. Yeah, but I think it's those steps and more that might help us go through this. It's a process. It won't happen overnight. It's a process.
And also, I think never taking your partner's hate for granted, because the truth is, once trust is broken, it hurts. It hurts your spouse. It hurts them. Sometimes it's like it attacks their ego when you do something that I may not mention them one by one, but we'll continue talking about them one by one. But today is just general trust. Sometimes it hurts their ego that they end up questioning their sufficiency to you. Their sufficiency to you, was I enough? What did I do wrong? I've been doing everything correct and all that. So you don't take for granted your partner's hurt. You don't take. Remember, the problem is what has come. Your spouse is not the problem. They may be the ones who've brought them. I may be the one who's brought that issue. I accept. I should accept. And then the other thing is other people who when they're apologizing. I give an example. I'm apologizing, but I want to over explain. Like, instead of saying just admitting, okay, I'm really sorry for what I did. But then I would say, koma, chinalengesa kuti nchite so. So you would have already spoiled your apology, and it will not feel right that you were vomera. Chazon have accepted you erred, and at the end of the day you end up attacking one another.
The blame game comes in.
Yes, you start blaming each other. The blame game comes in, and the truth is that blame game will always be there. But you really need to reach at a level where you are humble enough, I think humbleness is really quite
very,
important.
very, very critical.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're not humble, you'll not see your flaws.
Mm.
You will see yourself as higher than your partner,
True.
smarter than them, better than them.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but you must also be willing to learn from the mistakes.
True.
That's what brings transformation. It's the ability to learn from the mistakes that you've made and strive to be better. You are going to make mistakes, definitely, but you can learn from them. You can grow from them. They can also draw you closer by knowing this my partner doesn't like, this my partner doesn't appreciate, but how can we learn from it and actually become better? The goal is to serve one another. The goal is not just to remain in your own world and let them come to me, let them serve me, let them give me. But how much are you willing to go out of your way, enter into their world, see things from their point of view, and how can you serve them where they are? So admitting is you will save yourself a lot of trouble the moment you really humble yourself and admit where you are wrong.
But what about those that admit but they still go back to the same? Yes, they apologize and they like you start working on it, because I've seen this scenario where it's other people they go back to the same thing. They just change posts.
Okay.
Yes.
It just comes in a different form.
It comes in a different form.
I wonder if they have really reached a level where they are willing to work on it. I don't know. If they have really reached a level where they are willing to work on their flaws, because part of admitting that I was wrong, it's not just for the sake of I admit I was wrong. No. It's not just about shutting your partner up. It's not just about you silencing them. It's dialogue. At the end of the day, there must be a place where you also introspect, where you look within. Admitting must not be superficial. It must really come from deep down in your heart. And this is your partner. If you know you are wrong, you hurt them. If you love them for real, you will be willing to work on this. You will be willing to learn and grow past it.
Yeah.
If you are still struggling with that, there's a place for being vulnerable. Being vulnerable. And maybe that's another thing that maybe couples don't do a lot. We don't do a lot. It's about admitting areas where we are struggling and learning how we can be each other's strengths. How much do we admit our weaknesses? I'm struggling in this. No, babe, I have this challenge. I'm struggling in this area. You see, and one of the challenges is that when certain struggles remain a secret, the enemy will always find a way of thriving in secrecy. The enemy will always find a way of winning when we are fighting the battle in secret. That's a very, very critical issue. Anything you expose, you heal from it. So that's why I think that if one admits their flaws, but they keep going back to it, I wonder if they have really, really reached a level where they are willing to work on it, where they have really admitted their flaws.
And I think hiding becomes like a breeding ground.
Exactly.
To something. It becomes a breeding ground. So that's quite powerful. I love that statement.
Yeah, being vulnerable. Being vulnerable is very important. And I think personally I struggled with that a lot because, I grew up in an environment where a man is supposed to be strong. You're not supposed to show emotion. You're not supposed to show your weakness. It took a long time. Actually, it took a long time for me to cry in front of my wife. Like so many years into the marriage, even when I'm at my lowest, I would rather show strength, you see. But I learned that being vulnerable doesn't mean you're weak. It actually takes a lot of courage for you to be vulnerable to your spouse. I don't know if we're still talking about trust anyway.
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
maybe being vulnerable is an expression of trust.
Yeah.
I trust you enough that I can be vulnerable in front of you. I can actually be broken in front of you. I trust you with that aspect of my life. Especially for us men. We are taught to be strong. We are taught never to break. Yeah. It's very unhealthy. It's very unhealthy. And it will build walls that your partner will not know you. You will not also experience the grace that it comes with.
True.
There must be a place where we must reach a level of admitting I am weak in this area. I need help. in this area. It can be in some of the most uncomfortable things. Maybe I'll give an example. I can't control myself with the opposite sex. Am I going to be comfortable enough to talk about that with my spouse? And maybe because I'm afraid if I tell her, she'll leave. It can lock you up. But if we are going to be couples that are going to rise above these challenges, we must reach a level where we are comfortable enough to talk about uncomfortable things. Being broken, being vulnerable, allowing your partner see right through you. Because the fact that you're carrying it on your own, God never meant you to carry that by yourself. God never created you to carry that burden by yourself. If it's a challenge, you see it as a challenge for yourself. And by the way, no person will ever outgrow such temptations. No one will ever outgrow. None of us is strong enough to overcome these things by ourselves.
No matter how anointed.
No matter tongue talking, devil chasing, vision seeing, you will never outgrow some of these temptations. There is grace and power in being vulnerable, admitting that I am weak in this area, I need help. And the partner, on the other hand, must not look at it as a point of judging. The fact that that man comes to you opening up that he is struggling in this area, do not lock him up by saying, no, you are evil, no, sumvela chabe. He's trusting you with something very intimate. He's trusting you with something that is so huge for him. For him to even come and talk to you about it, it's because he sees you as his strength, and he just wants to get better. And be able to receive this with grace.
Maturity must also be addressed. Maturity,
yes, really, that's a very powerful thing. Be able to receive it with grace and find a way to navigate through this. You may find that it can actually bless your marriage, bring you closer, and make you grow even to greater heights. Be comfortable to have difficult conversations.
Very important. And I think most of us couples, we run away from difficult conversations. We do run away from difficult conversations. I think maybe it's a fear of being judged, but I think as couples, we must grow enough. We must treat our spouses with a lot of grace. He can only open up to me if at all I'm at that level where I really treat him with a lot of grace. I understand he's just human, and we can work through it together. We can work through anything together. So that's how you work through broken trust in marriage. It's very possible to rebuild. It's very possible to rebuild your marriage once trust is broken. Be gracious to each other. Pray for each other. I think prayer is also important. Really pray for each other. Remember each other in prayer. That's our weapon we have. Our weapon as Christians is prayer. Be vulnerable enough. Open up. Accept where you're wrong. Be vulnerable. Speak it out. Don't hide it. It's a breeding ground for actually doing even other things. That's why in Akuma Finances, the more you hide your finances, the more you sponsor your temptation. So be vulnerable enough. Like, that's your spouse. Exactly. That's your spouse. Excuse me. So truth be told, let's be free. Let's be open. Let's be open to each other, and we can rebuild trust again. Whatever was broken, it's very possible to rebuild. How long should healing take? How long should healing take?
Well, listen, I honestly don't know. But like I said, it's a process. And no one must rush the other through the process. It's different how long people heal. No one must determine the time that is there for you to heal. We must be willing to give each other grace to go through it. I should not force my partner. No. No, you don't know how deep it ran for a partner. You don't know how deep it ran. So no one should force you, but on the other hand, you must also make the effort. Because sometimes kumankala mzako analuvyanya kuma unachigwirira chabe perpetually forever. Akaisa mwiko chabe manzi. No, mumwerapo manzi pali utendewana. Mumwerapo myuko neutralize. No, I think that there must be effort on one end to try and move on. You can't continue dwelling on the same mistakes. The mistake doesn't define your partner. It doesn't define who they are. They are better than that. You see, and if you've seen someone has shown efforts and willingness to repent. They are a work in progress, same as you are a work in progress. So I think that the question of time, there's no specified time. No one can determine that you heal after 2 months, after a week, after what. No. People heal differently, but there must be effort on both ends. The partner, the offender, must understand that this thing will not go away just now. You must carry your cross. Because any blow.
Offendee.
Yeah. The offended also.
The offendee.
The offended also must make efforts to grow past this. If they have indicated that they are willing to grow past this, they should also put in the work. Put in the work. Some days are better than others. Some days are good. Other days you remember, it will break you, it will hurt you. Be honest with your hurt. Be honest. Don't sugarcoat it when you're hurt. You are hurt. The partner there must be understanding on both ends. Yeah, that's how I look at it. I don't think there's a specified time.
Yeah, it's a process. It's not an easy process, but surely it is a process. And take your time, take enough time, but be also ready to really deal with it. Really deal with it. But 15 years, 100 years, there's no specified time. But when it comes, when you feel hurt, don't hide your feelings. The same again to the one who's offended. It will not be an easy journey with your spouse, because they'll have to process this, deal with this. Sometimes they'll even ask hard questions, difficult questions, but move through together with this and fight through together. So there's no specified time. It's been an awesome time. We love talking and talking and talking. And so we see you next time. This is Agnes.
This is Raphael.
God bless you. Shalom,
Ciao.
shalom.